Hello and welcome to our webinar, Making the Most of RSH, New Features and Hidden Gems, organized by the Safeguarding Resource and Support Hub, in short, RSH. I'm happy to share this webinar, our first for this year, and to see such an interest in RSH from the different actors across different countries. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Mais Hafane, the regional lead for RSH MENA. I have more than 15 years of experience working to advance women's rights and gender equality in Jordan and across the MENA region, focusing, of course, on safeguarding, protection, and gender-based violence, women, peace, and security, inclusive governance, and strengthening civil society organizations. I'm currently a PhD candidate in feminist and gender studies at the University of Ottawa, and I hold a master's degree in women's studies. The Safeguarding Resource and Support Hub, RSH, is a global program that aims to support organizations in the aid sector to strengthen their safeguarding policy and practice, specifically against sexual exploitation, abuse, and harassment. In short, SIA. RSH supports organizations working in both the humanitarian and development sectors, and the program is supported by both UK and Swiss governments. RSH program is now implemented in Pakistan and Bangladesh in Asia, in the MENA region in both Syria and Jordan, and in Africa in Ethiopia and Nigeria. RSH is an open source of information and resources on safeguarding and the protection from SIA, and we focus on building the capacities and capabilities of CSOs through contextualized trainings, tailored mentorship programs, provision of technical support, and distribution of tools and expertise. In today's webinar, we will share the latest development in the RSH as it continues to evolve. We will showcase the updated RSH website, including key features such as the improved resource library, providing access to all the tools you need to strengthen your safeguarding and protection from SIA practices and policies. We will introduce two practical tools designed to support organizations in strengthening their safeguarding systems. The first tool is the Organizational Capacity Assessment Tool, in short, the OCCA, and the Risk Assessment Tool. This session is designed to be practical, accessible, and relevant for both the existing and new users for RSH. And in order to do that, we have invited three prominent speakers who are with us and who will talk through each key part of this. Please be advised that this webinar contains content on safeguarding that some might find distressing or triggering. So let's start with our webinar, and our first speaker, Ms. Sofia Karetka, is the Digital Communication Manager for the RSH program, overseeing messaging on the program's digital platforms, including the website and social media channels, and monitoring the program's online performance and data. She has extensive experience in communications for international child rights programs at Terre des Hommes organization, along with a background in digital marketing and communication in the for-profit sector. She joined the RSH program in 2023. Ms. Sofia will take us in a tour showing us the updated website and its new features. So please, Sofia, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Mace, and a warm welcome to everybody from me as well. I've been looking at the chat, and how lovely to see so many of you here today from representing so many different organizations and regions. So it is my great pleasure to take the next 20 minutes or so to walk you through the recently renewed RSH website. Now, I'm aware that many of you are already familiar with the RSH program and have used the previous version of the website. But I also know that some of you are not so familiar with it, are quite new to it. So this guided tour will focus on the new things, but will also give an overview of the whole website and the offerings of our program, which can also serve as a good reminder for those who are already familiar with it. Before sharing my screen and moving on to the website, just one sentence about the URL that you can see here, safeguardingsupporthub.org. So this hasn't changed. This is the one that we've had before. So if you've had it bookmarked, perhaps, then the link will take you to the new website. If you haven't got it bookmarked, then hopefully by the end of this webinar, you will be motivated or convinced to do so. So without much further ado, I'm going to share my screen. And show you the new website. So this is what it looks like. Let me take a moment about the name of our program, or the word RSH, which stands for Resource and Support Hub, Safeguarding Resource and Support Hub. And what do we mean by resources? So by resources, we mean a vast amount of written documents, but also multimedia that are free to use for everybody. They are mostly aimed at organizations working in the humanitarian and development sector, but it's really free to use for anybody who's interested in establishing or developing their safeguarding policies and practices. So if you need resources to help you with that, you can definitely find them here. It's a one-stop shop. And by support, we mean local presence that the program has in some of the countries where we are active. And you can see that under where we work. So the program is active currently in Bangladesh, Pakistan, Jordan and Syria in the MENA region, in Ethiopia and Nigeria, in Africa through our partners. What this means is that we have physical presence and staff in these countries who organize events, roundtables, deliver trainings, in-person, offline trainings, and in general advance the cause of the program. Our vision really is to keep everybody in the sector safe, make it a safer sector for beneficiaries, for staff, for everybody. I invite you to, in the Where We Work section, to discover these local hubs, as we call them, in your own time. For the sake of time, I will not take you through all of them. Let's now move on to the website itself. And the first thing I would like to highlight here is this language selector button that you can see in the top right corner. Now, if you click on it, you will see that 5 language options appear: English, Arabic, Bangla, French, and Swahili. You can select one of these languages, and what will happen is that you will get the website translated to that language, so you can navigate the entire website in these languages. Now, important to note that this is not automatic AI translation, as you so often see now everywhere. In our line of work, it's really important that we get the terminology right, and we don't want any approximative translations. So the website has been translated by humans, and it's been quality assured by our expert staff. So that's one thing to note. So while the website is available in 5 languages, we have resources that are available in a lot more languages, namely 18. So if you scroll down a little bit on the homepage, it will take you to another language selector. And here you can choose from 18 languages, and it provides you a shortcut to all the resources that we have in that language. So I now clicked on Arabic, and you will see that all the resources that we have in that language appear. So again, this is a useful tool here if you want to directly access our resources in a given language. It's before moving to navigating our resources, I would just like to mention one of our really key resources that I'm sure that many of you are already familiar with. And this is the Safeguarding Matters online learning, which is, like all of our other resources, free for everybody to use. What it is, it's an online training course consisting of 5 modules that you can take in your own time. It's self-paced and exists in many languages, from Amharic through Arabic to French, Hausa, Polish, Romanian, Russian, Swahili, and Ukrainian. Some of the modules are available in Portuguese. Some of them are available in Turkish, in Bangla, and in Urdu. So really a vast array of languages. And it gives you a very good basic understanding of safeguarding. In fact, many organizations use it as part of their onboarding processes for staff. Just to know that offline version of it exists as well. Maybe you're in an area with connectivity issues, you can download the training in a PDF format and use it offline. Now, in order to access this e-learning, all you need to do is register to our website and create an account to RSH. You can either do that here, or I'm just going to go back to the homepage and show you where you can do it here in the right corner. If you click on register, you can create yourself a new account by just giving your email address, a username, a password of your choosing that you need to confirm, your name, and then push create new account. And you will have an account with RSH, which will allow you to, again, access the e-learning. And there are some other perks as well, which I will mention later. As you can see, it takes no longer than 2 seconds. The e-learning, if you complete the e-learning, it also comes with a certificate sent to you to your email address as well. So that's important to know. Now, from that, moving on to our menu, and the first menu item is something called it is safeguarding. And if you hover over it, you will see 9 topics that are related to safeguarding: policies, leadership, communication, prevention, reporting, response, and so on and so on. So these topics are closely related to CAPSIA. Some of you, I'm sure, are already familiar with CAPSIA. It's a common approach to protection from sexual exploitation, sexual abuse, and sexual harassment. It really underpins our work at RSH. And what it is, again, I invite you to explore CAPSIA in your own time. It has its own website, which is hosted by the RSH website. It's a shared framework to drive collective action to tackle SEAH, provides a common vision, some guiding principles, and some minimum actions to take. The minimum actions recommended by CAPSIA are actually organized around the same topics that you can find here. So if you familiarize yourself with CAPTCHA and agree with the principles and you want to implement it in practice, RSH really complements that really well, because you will find all the practical resources here in order to implement the principles of CAPTCHA in your organization. So let's click on one of them, which is policies, which will take you to a page where the relevance of policies is briefly explained in the context of safeguarding. And then it takes you straight to a collection of resources that are related to policies. It always starts with a where to begin section, which is a collection of resources for those who are really just starting out. So you can see the first document here, or the first resource here is the how to develop or update your code of conduct, which is something that which is usually the first thing you start to think about in practical terms when it comes to safeguarding. Now you can click on this resource, and it will take you to its page. If you are logged in, as I mentioned before, you can bookmark it, and it will. You can create your own personal little library within the RSH website for quick access to documents that you find important. So instead of having all those bookmarks crowding your browser, you can have your internal personalized library within the RSH website through your account, or you can, we invite you to share it, of course, as well through social media or by email. So you can download the resource here in as many languages as it exists in. So this one exists in English, Arabic, Bangla, French, Swahili, Urdu. And it has some related links as well that you might find useful when working with this document. So this is what a typical resource page looks like. Coming back to still the same first menu item, safeguarding. So you will find the same under every topic. So a collection of resources for beginners, for a deeper dive, and then the individual resources. I also wanted to say a few words about the job vacancies and funding opportunities pages. These are two little services that we offer to our users. The job vacancies page will take you to a selection of job opportunities around the globe that are not, importantly, not RSH program opportunities, but external ones. RSH staff monitors the job market related to safeguarding and posts those jobs here. If you are aware of one, or maybe you have an opportunity in your organizations, we invite you to write to us, and we are very happy to post it here. And if you are yourself looking for a job in safeguarding, this is a really useful page for you and a good page to bookmark. In a similar vein, we also offer funding opportunities. So again, RSH staff monitors funding opportunities that are somehow related to safeguarding or PSEH or GBV, and we post them here. Again, you are very welcome to let us know if you are aware of them, and we are very happy to help our users by spreading the word about them. Let's now move on to the resource library menu item, which is the next one in the list and really probably the heart and soul of the website. But first, I want to draw your attention to the Safeguarding Essentials pack, which is basically a starter kit for those organizations who are new to safeguarding, just starting out, and perhaps a bit lost in all the vast array of online resources available, and they are not sure what they are looking for. We created this for them. It can be downloaded as a zip file, and it's a very useful resource. It takes them and their organization step by step through really the initial steps of the safeguarding journey, the essential spec. It is indeed one of our most popular resources next to the e-learning. Moving on to the resource library. And again, if you've used our website in its previous version before, you probably remember that it had multiple ways of allowing users to consult it. In this new version of the website, we really wanted to make it as user-friendly as possible, and we gave it a search function that is very intuitive, very easy to use, and works in many languages. And we took the experience that we had from the previous version of the website and how our users used it to improve its search function. So as you can see, it's really simple. There's a simple search bar here where you can either type a question or a keyword or a sentence or a fragment of a keyword or a synonym, or you can even misspell the word, the system will recognize it. Let me demonstrate. Let's start by asking it a question. Such as, who is responsible for safeguarding? And it gave me as a result an introduction to safeguarding document, or a safeguarding roles and responsibilities document, which will probably answer my question. It does work in multiple languages. So out of all these languages, French is the only one I'm somewhat familiar with. So I'm going to type a French word to demonstrate, which is disabilité, which means disability. So let's see what that search term will result in. So indeed, it gives me resources in French languages that are related to disability, disabilité, or personne handicapée. You note that these documents don't even include the word disabilité in their title, but the search engine finds them for me as they are related to disability. Coming back to English, just want to demonstrate that even if I make a typo and I just say disability by mistake, I still the system still recognizes what I probably want and gives me the right results. Now let's say that I'm a bit more strategic in my search, and I know more what I want. I can filter this further down through the advanced options that I can open here. So let's say, still staying with disability, I want guidance on safe programming, let's say, and related to Bangladesh in the topic of disability. Let's see what that will result in. And indeed, it will give me guidance notes, pocket guides to disability inclusive safeguarding in Bangladesh. So this is how you use the search function. I will untick all these, and just as a last example, I will show you that one of the documents that my colleagues are going to talk about in a few minutes are also available. So one of them is the organizational capacity assessment tool, which is too long and I don't want to type it, so I will just type OCA, and let's see. Indeed, it comes out. This is the tool that's going to be presented in a minute. So again, I invite you to browse and discover our resource library. There are thousands of resources, contextual resources as well, translated to multiple languages that are available for you for free to help you in your safeguarding journey. And the last thing I wanted to highlight is our consultant directory, which you can find under support. Now, in case you need more personalized support, or you have a very specific question that you want to discuss with a safeguarding expert that you probably don't find the answer for in these documents, or these general documents, you can, and you are not based in one of the countries where we work, you can use this consultant directory, which is another service that RSH provides, because finding the right expert can be a challenge. So we have a list of organizations or individuals who provide safeguarding advisory services, and they have been quality assured either by RSH or were recommended to us by some trusted partners. We have a strict quality assurance process related to this. And here you can search for them. So let's say you are looking for a provider that speaks Urdu and are based in South Asia, and it will immediately give you a list of consultants that could work for you. You can consult their profile and you can find their contact here. Importantly, these providers are not RSH staff, as I mentioned, and they provide their first services for a fee. So they are not working for free. I'm running out of time, so I will stop sharing here, although there's a lot of other things I could mention, and I will give the floor back to Mace. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sophia, for this informative tour. I think it's now easier for us and the audience to navigate these different features. And it's also a pleasure to see and explore our new lively branding and colors. Thank you, Sophia. Moving to our second speaker, Mr. Firdaus Nahid. He's the safeguarding advisor for RSH in Bangladesh. Mr. Firdaus has been working for the last 14 years on safeguarding, protection, early years development, livelihood programming in development and humanitarian agencies. He has expertise on gender-based violence and harassment in the private sector, expertise also on protection, organization, and development to address sexual exploitation, abuse, and harassment. Also, some of the key areas of his know-how include capacity building, program design, project management, SIA investigation, and case management. Mr. Firdaus will present the Organizational Capacity Assessment Tool, the OCA. Please, Firdaus, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mace, for your introduction. Before I start, let me thank Jofi for her nice presentation on the exciting new features of RHS website. I hope users will enjoy browsing this our website. I'm grateful to be here today. I would like to introduce the RHA's Safeguarding Organizational Capacity Assessment tool. In short, we say Organizational Capacity Assessment. So, this is a practical tool designed to help the organizations to strengthen and prevent the sexual exploitation, abuse, and harassment. I will show you the format the tool later. One of the most important things to understand from the outset uh, is Purok. Could you please go to the next slide? Yeah, thank you. So one of the most important things to understand from the outset is that this is not an audit or compliance exercise. It is a learning and reflection tool that support organization to understand their realistic opportunities for improvement. Ultimately, the aim is to strengthen the safeguarding practices so organizations are better able to protect their staff, partners, and communities they serve. The next slide, please. These slides highlight a simple but important idea. The real value is in the conversation, not the score. Many organizations already have the safeguarding policies. However, the policies alone don't show you how the safeguarding is being practiced in their organization. What organization really need is a straightforward, honest, and practical way to understand their current safeguarding capacity, identify what matters most, and monitor their progress over time. The process is designed to encourage the open discussion rather than focus on achieving the perfect score. The conversation help team reflects on their strength, recognizing their improvement area, and build a shared understanding of what is good safeguarding looks like. Next slide, please. What does the OCA offer to organization? The OCA provides organization with a practical way to reflect on their safeguarding systems and the day-to-day practices. Rather than looking at the policies in isolation, it helps organization take a broader view of how safeguarding is implemented across the organization. One of its key strengths is that it brings together the internationally recognized safeguarding standards into a single, easy to use framework. This makes the assessment process more consistent and manageable. The OCA also helps identify both organizational strength and areas that need to improvement. By doing so, it encourages continual learning and development rather than treating the safeguarding as a one-time exercise. Finally, the assessment produces a realistic action plan, giving the organization clear and achievable steps to strengthen their safeguarding over time. Could you please go to the next slide? Thank you. Who is the tool for? This self-assessment tool has been designed to be flexible and accessible. It is suitable for the organization of all sizes, including the organization with limited staff or resources. It can be used by organizations working in the international development, humanitarian responses, and also the emergency setting. Although safeguarding focal points often coordinate the processes, but the assessment is most effective when it involves people from all the or across the organization. This might include the colleagues from senior management, human resource program teams, partnerships, operation, and fundraising. Bringing together different perspectives creates a much richer understanding of how safeguarding works in practice across the organization. It also encourages shared ownership. Safeguarding is not responsibility of one person, it is everyone's responsibility. Next slide, please. So now let's have a look. What does the tool cover? This assessment is organized around the 7 core safeguarding standards that reflect the key elements of an effective safeguarding system. Discover policy and procedures, leadership, communication, prevention, reporting, response, monitoring, and organizational learning. You see the tool here. This is a sample of one standard. In the first column, you see the criteria, then you see the score. For example, do the organization have the policy in places? Do they regularly implement this policy and procedures? So there, the score you see, 0 means no measures are in place. 1 means some measures exist or they are not consistently implemented. 2 means measures in place and regularly practiced. So then this the third column, you see the subsection is good. This is the average of these three of the second column, and the fourth column you see the standard score based on the criteria. And for these, importantly, the assessment encourages organization to look beyond the written policies. Also, the evidence you see in the last column, the evidence. Also, the organization need to gather the evidence in favor of their score. This evidence can include staff experiences, example from programs, discussions with the colleagues, and evidence of how safeguarding is working in practice. So next slide, please. So how organization should use it in practice? The process itself is one of the greatest strength of the tool. It begins with the planning and identifying a small cross-functional group to lead the assessment. Staff are then asked to gather relevant evidence from their own areas of work. The assessment itself is complicated through facilitated discussion where participants review each criteria together. One feature that covers honest participation in that individual first score is confidentially before discussing differences and agreeing on a final score. The approach helps reduce the influence of organizational hierarchy, creates a space for different perspectives to be heard. Once the assessment has been completed, the organization reviews the findings, agrees its priorities, and develop an action plan with realistic and achievable action. So key findings and benefits. This, from an organizational perspective, the benefits, they well beyond producing a set of score. The process helps organization better understanding their current safeguarding capacity and identify clear priorities, strengthening policy, systems, and organizational culture. It strengthens accountability by providing an evidence-based picture of current practice. It also builds the awareness and confidence among staff, partners, and communities by encouraging open discussion about safeguarding responsibilities. For organization working in a low resource setting or emergency context, the tool provides a practical way to strengthen safeguarding within the existing capacity. Another important benefit is that it helps organization prepare safeguarding due diligence requirement, increasingly expected by many donors and funding partners. So next slide, please. So next slide, please. Thank you. To conclude, this self-assessment is intended to support organization on their safeguarding journey. It provides a practical framework for honest reflection, constructive discussion, and realistic action planning. Rather than asking whether the organization is good or bad, is at safeguarding. What can we improve next? The assessment should not be viewed as one-off exercise. As I said earlier, instead the organization are encouraged to repeat it annually or whenever significant uh, organizational changes occur, so they can monitor progress over time, strengthen their safeguarding system, continue building safer environment for staff, partners, and community they serve. But before preparing the final plan, please consider assessing the safeguarding risk in your context. My colleague will walk you through the risk assessment tool in a minute. Thank you very much for listening, and I look forward to your questions and discussion later. Thank you,
Thank,
Mais. Over to you.
thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Firdaus, for presenting this important tool, showing us its added value and how different organizations can benefit from using it. Thank you. Moving to our final presentation, our speaker is Musa Domi, the Safeguarding Advisor for RSH MENA. Musa brings more than 15 years of experience in child protection and safeguarding across humanitarian and development context in Syria, Jordan, and the wider MENA region. He supports non-governmental and civil society organizations to strengthen safeguarding and systems through capacity strengthening, policy development, risk management, and survivor-centered approaches. Mr. Musa will present to us the risk assessment tool. Please, Musa, you can go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mais, and thank you for everyone for joining us today. This is Musa, the Safeguarding Advisor for the MENA, working with Resource and Support Hub. Thank you so much, Firdaus, for the great introduction for the organizational capacity assessment tool and how it help organization understand the strength of their safeguarding system. Now let's take the next step to let's deep in the risk assessment tool. And I'm pleased today to introduce the RSH risk assessment. And over the next 10 minutes, we'll explore why this safeguarding risk assessment matters and where safeguarding risk exists and how the RSH risk assessment tool it works and how the organization can be used to strengthen their safeguarding system. For the main challenge for all the organization they face, they start with the policy, and the policy is just the starting point. So organization and also need a system and clear responsibility, effective supervision and safe reporting mechanism and positive safeguarding culture, because system influence the decision people make every day. And when safeguarding becomes actually part of everyday practice, organizations are much better positioned to prevent harm rather than simply just respond to it. So this creates a safer organization for both staff and the program participant. And the effective safeguarding requires moving from written commitment to live commitment in practice. So we need to build a system that anticipates risk before harm occurs. Next slide, please. So safeguarding risks do not remain the same over time. So what makes CA risks change? One of the key message I would like to leave it today with you is safeguarding risks are not static. So risks change because the environment in which we work are constantly changes. So always emergency evolve, program expand, staff turnover, join and leave. New partners come on board to our organization through partnership or shifting in funding and operational in the context. So at the same time, factors such as power imbalance, social and culture norms, access to services, and community dynamics all influence people vulnerability to CS. So this is also mean that a risk identified in one country or one program, it might be not look the same for in another country or in another program. So that's why safeguarding risk matrix assessment should never be a one-off exercise. It should be repeated regularly within the organization, and it should be a continuous process that evolve alongside the organization. So the next question is, next slide, please, Piero. So if we ask ourselves, where are the greatest CR risks exist in our organization? So is it in HR or in HR department or in programs or in procurement or leadership? Actually, risks may emerge through HR, for example, during recruitment or in leadership decision or reporting mechanism and or communication practices and partnership and digital platform. So looking at the safeguarding holistically helps organization to identify blind spots and strengthen prevention across all departments, units, and function. So this is actually exactly how the RSH risk assessment tool is designed. So this is what we will see in the next slide. Please, Piero. As you see, the risk assessment tool is organized around 7 organizational domains, covering the area where safeguarding risks are most likely to emerge. Actually, this is include, as you see, the external environment, governance and leadership, human resources, programs, reporting and response, communication and information management, and third-party engagement. All of them together provide a comprehensive, actually, picture of safeguarding across the organization. So, however, the assessment goes beyond these 7 areas. Within each domain, actually, the tool includes a number of detailed risk categories. And for every category, it explains why it represents as a CR risks, identify common factors that may contribute to these risks, and also provide practical examples of how these risks may appear in your organization day-to-day work. And because will help your organization to understand not only where risks just exist, but also why these exist and why and what they look like in your organization. So once those risks have been identified, the tool will work with you, and this is what we will see in the next slide. So the tool will follow a simple 4 structured process. The first one, the organization identify potential risks within the organization, within all these 7 areas. Then next, we will assess and prioritize the risks according to the likelihood and impact. After that, we will develop a practical mitigation action. And finally, we will monitor those progress and review the risk regularly. But identifying just risks is only valuable if organizations know what to do with these findings, because if we don't know what to do with these findings, it will be just identified and not being solved or mitigated out. Next slide, Biro. So one of the strengths of this tool is it doesn't stop at identifying risks. It supports organization actually to develop a clear action plan. So for every identified risks, organization first document the measure already in place, manage that risks, and then identify additional actions needed to strengthen the safeguarding system. So each action is assigned to a responsible person with a realistic time frame for implementation. So the progress, after that, the progress is then monitored using the status column inside the risk assessment tool through a drop-down list. While additional comments allow organization to record important context change or context evolve and challenges or any follow-up action, it should be considered. The most important, this process shouldn't be completed by one person inside the organization alone. It works actually best if colleagues from different departments, such as programs, HR, operation, for example, meal, and leadership, contribute their perspective to this tool, because safeguarding risks cut across the entire organization. So next slide, Piero, if you can. So, of course, not every risk requires the same level of attention. So, to help organization prioritize resources, each identified risk is assessed according to two factors: the likelihood and impact, and those together combining the final rating risks. Go to the next slide, Piero. So just to put this into example, as you see, if there is any, if the imagine that X organization identify a power imbalance during the aid distribution, after assessing the likelihood and impact, the risk is rated high, and the organization record the measures already in place, such as code of conduct, staff induction, and then identify additional action, including strong supervision, refresher training, strengthen the complaint mechanism, and awareness raising with the community. And also responsibility and timeline, as you see, are assigned, making it clear who will implement each action and by when. This is a simple example, actually, to demonstrate how the tool moves from identifying risks to managing it effectively. Next slide. Actually, so why this matter for us, and what is the difference in practice? This is a structured CA risk assessment brings several important benefits. One of them is to improve the visibility of safeguarding risk before harm occurs, strengthen prevention also by encouraging proactive action, and contribute to safer programming and community and staff. Most importantly, this has helped build a safeguarding culture where everyone understands their role in preventing harm. Next slide, Bureau. This is, I would like to finish with one final message, if you allow me. This is to conclude that the strongest safeguarding system are not those with the most policies or with polished policies. They are those organizations that understand their risks and review them regularly and take proper practical action to reduce them. Safeguarding risk assessment is not a one-time compliance exercise, is an ongoing process of understanding risks, prioritizing action, and to strengthen the system. Safeguarding actually is about creating an organization where staff and volunteer and community and program participants feel safe and dignity. Thank you so much for your time, and look forward to your question. Thank you. Over to you, Mace.
Thank you, Musa, for this presentation on the risk assessment tool. Indeed, as you said, risk assessment is important as it supports a more effective response and stronger planning and implementation of actions. I have been checking the Q&A function, and I saw that most of the questions raised there have been answered. Unfortunately, we are out of time to have a Q&A specific session, so we will answer to any remaining questions in writing and send it to you to everyone in a follow-up email. Also, if you have any follow-up questions or inquiries, please feel free to send them to us via the info email. That's all we have time for today. Thanks again to Sophia, Ferdous, and Musa for their informative presentations, and to all of you for your participation in the webinar and for your engaging questions and engaging questions. We will be sharing this webinar recording and slides to you shortly, as well as other related resources. Also, the focus of our next webinar will be the e-learning, which is currently being updated. If you want to hear about future RSH webinars, please subscribe to our newsletter or follow us on social media in order to be among the first to know about the upcoming webinars. I also encourage you to explore the RSH website and make the most of the available practical tools and resources. So thank you and hope to connect with you again in our future webinars and learning events as we continue to share new knowledge and practical guidance. Wishing you all a lovely day and thank you for your participation with us.